Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, call halal Yahweh, Shem Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Dash, and of course, double honors go out to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who continue through the Holy Spirit to give us His truth. This is Nama of the DC camp, and let me just say this from the top. This person that this uh, article is talking about, first of all, this is not about championing her cause because this is not what we're about. All right. First of all, she's a fool for ever getting involved in this shit. She doesn't realize at this point, evidently, that she's being used. All right. And we all know this organization is, all right, funded by the billionaire George Soros. All right. Who is or who professes to be a Jew. All right. But again, this has nothing to do with, you know, uh, putting her, in the spotlight. This is for what's being done to her. All right. And it says, this is from Black Enterprise, and it says Black Lives Matter activist Pam Moses, who was convicted of illegally voting despite not voting, is facing 4 to 8 years in prison. You know, and when I get into it, you're gonna say, well, exactly what is the crime? And this is why, for you people that want to stay here in this hellhole that is America, you put your faith in America, Babylon the Great, and you somehow expect a big turnaround. All right, not realizing that this place is done, it's over. In case you're not realizing it, all these so called variants, these are all excuses to try to scare more people into getting that icky vicky juice. All right, Satan's piss. All right, whatever you want to call it, the jibba jab. And they're going to keep coming up with. This time it's Omicron. Next time it's going to be Unicron. Then Ultron. And if you don't get it by Starscream, something's wrong with you. All right. It says Black Lives Matter activist Pam Moses faces jail time after being convicted of illegally registering to vote in a bizarre and year-long story. It says Moses told WREG, a Memphis CBS satellite affiliate, the situation began in 2015 when she pleaded guilty to a 10-count indictment that included charges of perjury, stalking, forgery, and tampering with evidence, a crime that strips a resident's right to vote. Like, damn, so it's not like she was completely innocent here. Cool, all right? Like, whatever. Anyway, it says the activist says she was charged after complaining about elected officials and spent 5 months in jail on a $500,000 bond before pleading guilty to the charges. Okay, but you pleaded guilty. What? Okay, because she was complaining about elected officials. Okay. Moses thought the incident was behind her and in 2019 applied to have her voting rights restored. However, she was shocked to find out she was charged with falsifying information on her voter registration, and her trial was set for November 1st. He says, I didn't even know I was going to trial until a few days before this. He says she refused to take a plea, and the 12 counts of illegal registration for voting were dismissed almost immediately, as prosecutors could not prove she intentionally registered illegally. Okay? You know, it's like, whoa, wait a minute, something else. And it says, as a result, Moses' application to have her voting right restored was approved by Department of Corrections officials on September 3rd, 2021, just 3 months ago. The next day, Moses received a letter saying the DOC was wrong in restoring her voting rights because she was convicted of a felony, permanently terminating her right to vote. Moses called the situation voter suppression. And she goes on to complain about, oh, they're suppressing the vote of black leaders, blah, 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 blah. It says voter suppression has been an ongoing battle between Republicans and Democrats in recent elections and shows no signs of letting up. Exactly. Because they're going to play this game because of who it's about. All right. And they know they can keep playing this game because again, who we are and our situation in this country. All right. They can keep playing these games with us because we have no one to complain to but Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And it turns out that's the most important thing. But a lot of our people are faithless and they're caught up in the carnal aspects of things. And, we, as punishment for our turning our backs on our powers, Most High Yahweh and His Son Yahweh Shai, things were taken away from us. We have no power. None. All right. This is done so for those of us who realize what's going on, we have to turn back to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. There's no other way. All right. That's part of the curses. All right. It says Georgia Governor Brian Kemp was accused of voter suppression in the 2018 gubernatorial election. So they got a governor. The Ohio GOP has hired 2 lawyers to fight accusations of voter suppression in the aftermath of former President Donald Trump's election loss. The reversal landed Moses back in court, this time on perjury charges and falsifying an election document. Shelby County Election Administrator Linda Phillips said the situation was something she's never seen before. However, that didn't stop District Attorney Amy Wayrick, however you say that, from taking the case to trial. Her last name, might be one of the little hats. It says where Moses was found guilty of illegally registering to vote in 2019. Moses faces 4 to 8 years in prison, despite maintaining she never actually voted, but only registered to do so. She will be sentenced Friday, December 10th. Despite the outcome, the activist says she will keep fighting voter suppression because it's paramount to America's future. There she go. She's caught up in America. So, whatever. From the outset, she's down with the system, despite what it's trying to do with her. All right. Or to her, rather. So what can you say about these jakes like this? Fuck them. All right. Especially this so-called black woman, all right? She's down with it. And I hear, over the weekend, I heard something about, I'm trying to remember where I heard it from, one of the brothers, about some Judite woman on some podcast or whatever that's been advocating for it's murder. She's intentionally calling for the abortion of male Jake children. All right? Leave the girls, but kill the males. I shit you not. I just can't remember where I heard it for, but, this so-called black woman is a weapon. She's been weaponized against us. All right? So it's like what I said from the outset, all right, at the very top. don't give a damn because we all know that, you know, she's being used. And this whole setup, this BLM, all right, is ran by homosexuals. This is just another means to, in their charter. What was it, year before last, where they were um, forced to remove, what was that in their charter? I'm talking about Black Lives Matter, about doing away with the so-called nuclear family where you had the man, the woman, and the children. All right, they wanted to do away with the man. What does that tell you? For you idiots out there marching with these pieces of shit. This is targeting us. And these homos that you're marching so they can have rights, they're looking to replace us, to do away with us. All right? You people, our people are just all kinds of fucked up. All right? More the reason why this place has to go. Hey, so with that, I don't want to ramble on, but this is why we quote Hebrews 11th chapter and the 13th chapter. Let me get it real quick. About looking for better places. All right, because this is, oh. And of course, let's see. This is Hebrews 11:14. For they that say such things, and this is talking about, of course, this is Hebrews 11th chapter, and it's talking about faith. And it's running down a list of those in the Hall of Fame, so to speak. You know, you got Abraham, you got Moses, you got Sarah. You know, and of course, with what happened to Israel, it's saying that for they that say such things declare plainly that they seek a country, and truly if they had been mindful of that country from whence they came out, they may have had opportunity to have returned. You know, say, what's the saying? You don't miss a good thing until it's gone, or something to that effect. It says 16, but now they desire a better country, that is, in heavenly. Wherefore, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is not ashamed to be called their power, for he hath prepared for them a city. And then when we go to 13, all right, and verse 14, it says, for here have we no continuing city. You bust your ass, you go to your enemy's schools and whatever else to try to get his idea of an education. This just helps him further his agenda. It doesn't help us at all. Proof of that, we've been over here for hundreds of years. All right. And everybody else comes over here. You know, they do what they do. And our people just don't want to accept the fact that whatever we do, I just watched again, what's her name? Amber Ruffin. And she was talking about all the towns that were sunken, that were not burnt down, but just to get rid of the evidence that, all right, you know, Central Park, what is now Central Park in New York, that was once Jake's, and there's so many, all right. They prove that they never wanted us, and still today do not want us to succeed, be independent. All right, and that in itself should tell you something. We'll say, well, it's like, why us? Maybe because there's something about you that the people that count are aware of, and you're not. And that's what we're out there on the highways and byways trying to tell you. But our people just fan their hand, call us crazy. You know, they're waiting for the so-called white man, the Edomite, to tell them, yes, you're the Israelites, and then they'll, oh, thank you. See, I mean, so you know what? Fuck them. The hell with them. Hey, so with that, I don't want to ramble too much. I didn't want to take much time on this, but yeah, she looked like she going to prison. She did not vote, so evidently there's something in there. It would appear there's something in there in the fine details. Uh, Supposedly, I'm gathering from what I've read that once the right is taken away from you, but again, this is the thing. She did not vote. She just filed paperwork to get her privilege restored, because that's all it is. Privilege is not a right. All right. Hey, so with that, shalom.